Hey everybody, Bobby Umar here, and I'm very excited to do my first ever scope for Seyopa, Seize Your Passion. And I'm walking because, what's interesting is I was trying to log on a couple minutes ago and I couldn't get on because the Wi-Fi wasn't working where it was. So I'm going to use my 3G network and I'm just going to talk to you guys. So, for the most part, I'm really excited because what I'm going to talk about today is how to seize your passion. I'm going to see if I can find a place where I can get better light. And again, this is with Seyopa, and what we're planning on doing is for every Thursday at 11:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to do a scope chat for 10-15 minutes to talk about how to seize your passions. And I'm proud to partner with Seyopa, and it's going to be an awesome time. So we'll look for this weekly. And this is a chance for you to, if you're online, by all means, make sure you share this on Twitter. Let people know to join us. This is really to help anybody seize your passions in any aspect of life, whether it's work, or professional, personal fulfillment, and whatnot. So let's get started. And again, I'm Bobby Umar. I'm a 4-time Tedx speaker. I'm one of Inc. Magazine's top 100 leadership speakers. Here, let's just pass you this. There's some music. This is good. This is a good spot. And I'm one of Inc. Magazine's top 100 leadership speakers. And I love. This is great. And I love talking about my passions. Now, the question for today is, how do we? And again, share this on Twitter if you like what you're hearing. By all means, double tap, share this with your friends on Facebook, and get them in the conversation. Let me know if you have any questions or share your comments below. Tell me where you're from. I'm from Toronto for the most part. That's where I live and breathe. And I love what I do. So let's start off with the first thing, which is, I think the biggest challenge people have is, how do I find the time for my passions? Well, let's take that back a little bit, which is, what have you done to really understand what your passions are? So have you done the due diligence? I speak all around North America at conferences, and I always say, so what are your passions? What are you passionate about? And then, a few hands go up, which is like, why don't all the hands go up? And then even then they're like, well, I'm passionate about music, or I'm passionate about books, or my work. But, the way I see it is that if you're totally into your passions, you would actually be sharing it. You would be sharing it with everybody. You would actually say, hey, I love music, I love my kids, I love movies, I love whatever it is. You should be sharing it like huge in terms of what you're passionate about. So that's the first thing. The second thing is in terms of finding time for your passions. It's a big part of priorities in your mindset. There's certain ways to get around it. I mean, let me walk away from the music here. So there's certain ways to get around from that. I mean, one of the things that I do personally is I make time. So I look at my time schedule. I look at what I'm looking at monthly and weekly and daily in terms of what am I doing with my time and how do I make the most of it. So that's a big part of it. Now, the other big thing with your passions is how to find the time is what I call integration. There's ways for you to take what you do and what you love and find ways to integrate it into your life. So what that means is, if you're in transit, is there a chance for you to pick up that book that you love? If you're doing something really special with let's say you love, I'm going to make up a weird one. Let's say you love stamp collecting, okay? So you're into stamp collecting. How can you integrate that in your life? Maybe by connecting with other people, socializing. Maybe you do it, for 15 minutes while you're taking a train ride, or maybe you do it for 15 minutes before you go to bed. Yeah, thanks for the hearts. Appreciate that. Like, if you're loving what you're hearing, and again, you have to find ways. Please share the hearts if you're loving what you're hearing, and share this with people. And so that's one thing to do, is to integrate it. And another big thing for integrating is, knowing what areas you can fulfill your life in. There's 4 ways in which we can fulfill our lives and find fulfillment and happiness. Number 1 is fulfillment with our work. Number 2 is fulfillment with the people that we love, like our friends, our family, our children, our parents. Number 3 is fulfillment with an extracurricular pursuit or passion. So let's say you're into fitness, you're into yoga, you're into rock climbing. And then the 4th one is personal reflection and meditation and spirituality. So taking the time to really, find the fulfillment within your heart and within your head and soul. So now, finding those 4 ways, how do we integrate it? Well, the first one with work, you can integrate it with making sure that whatever you're working on, you love what you're doing. Because if you don't, that's going to be a huge issue for you. Number 2, if it's your family, if you're in a bad relationship or you're having trouble with your family, or let's say you're having trouble with your friends. Either seek counseling or get help, get support, be open with your feelings, and be willing to do what you can to nurture those relationships the best way you can. Number 3, if you have a pursuit that you're trying to get into, maybe you don't feel like you can. Well, again, you have to find a way to make the time. We have to prioritize our time. We prioritize work, we prioritize our relationships, and oftentimes we don't prioritize our passion pursuits. So for me, for example, I'm a parent, I'm a dad, and I have little kids, but I don't have time for certain things, so I try to incorporate that. Yes, thank you for the hearts, I love that, it's great. I'm passionate about hearts. So I make the time by integrating my kids into it. So for example, I love musical theater, my kids are into musical theater. That helps. Or, when they go to bed, I love the hearts, it's great guys, thank you. When the kids go to bed, I take 15-20 minutes to focus on something I love. Like I love hockey, so I'll check out my hockey pool for 15 minutes, and that gets me kind of excited. So I have to find ways to integrate that. And then finally, the 4th one, which is how do we integrate our own personal reflection and meditation? You love musical theater, that's awesome, that's great. How do you reflection? I mean, it's so critical for all of us to find time to reflect on what we're going through. And whether you journal, whether you meditate, whether you get up and do yoga or you exercise, or just taking 15 minutes to plan your day or plan your reflections and thoughts of the day. Those types of things are critical to our fulfillment and again, a big part of understanding maybe what we're passionate about. So if I can give you a call to action, I would say tonight or tomorrow, take 10 to 15 minutes, okay? And I want you to write down all the things you're passionate about. Whether it's 5, 10, even 20 things. What are the things you're passionate about? This could be people related, it could be activity related, it could be event related, but write down all those passions. And then the second thing I want you to think about is I want you to write down how can you integrate 2 or 3 of them. I mean, let's do baby steps. Let's not try to integrate everything into our lives, but let's try to find a way to put 2 or 3 of them into our lives. Do you need to do 10 minutes of daily reflection? Do you want to spend 15 minutes just calling a friend? I mean, even a phone call to fulfill yourself with happiness is a great way. Yeah, deep breathing and relaxation is a great way to reduce cortisol levels and relax. Deep breathing is good. Meditation, taking a nap, so what I would say is number 1 call to action is again write down a list of what you're passionate about. Number 2, pick the 2 or 3 things you're going to integrate and how are you going to do that. Are you going to do it before dinner, after dinner, late at night, before bed, in the morning? Find the time to integrate it because there are things in our lives that are urgent and important and things that are urgent and important. And I'm telling you, fulfillment and happiness, at the end of our lives, we will wonder where we spend our time. We will wonder, should I have worked harder or should I have spent more time making myself happy? And, one of the things you'll find, we all have a hard time meditating enough times, right? It's more of a question of trying to do it the right way. What are you guys passionate about? I mean, share with me right now what you're passionate about and how do you integrate in your lives? Finding the time is just a matter of finding the emotional head and heart priority and really instilling it. And there's different ways to really instill that and master the mindset of making sure that you create time for your passions. One is to have clarity, one is to have focus, one is to have vision to see where you want to go. And another one is maybe get someone to help you, finding a friend, an advisor, a coach that's going to help you focus on where to find this clarity, where to find this time. Yeah, spirituality, spending time with my husband and kids is great. And I think that's a wonderful passion to pursue. So, what we're going to do with these weekly these scopes is to talk about how do we find those passions, how do we explore those passions. We're actually going to come up with different taglines and different headlines, different questions. I also want you guys to submit stuff. Go to seyopa.com/ I think it's stream, but just go to the website, check out this Periscope chat, and then submit your topic ideas or questions you have about anything to do with seizing your passions. And if you do that, then we'll have a whole list of great topics that we're going to talk about, and we're going to share as many as we can with you and the audience. And I look forward to doing more chats with you guys and Seyopa on the topic of seize your passions. In the meantime, again, today's Thursday, so think about the weekend's coming up. Oftentimes we don't think about our passion until the weekends come because we're so busy with work. But again, there are ways to incorporate and integrate this. Making the time is not that difficult. It's just a question of priority. If you make the time, you have to make time to work out. You got to make time for your friends and family. You got to make time for things that are important to you. So the first step is to understand what is important to you. Really take the time to write it down, do your due diligence. It'll serve you so well. I cannot tell you, like, having gone through my own personal brand process, how much learning about my passions and knowing what my brand is and what my values are have really given me everything. Well, when you're happy, you find time for everything. Absolutely. Well, the idea is that once you know what's important and how you fulfill yourself, you will make more of an effort to try to fulfill yourself in those ways. So that's really what that's all about. It's about trying to fulfill yourself in the best way you can. All right, so if anybody has any other comments or questions, post them below. Let me know where you're from. Let me know what your passions are. Share the heart. Share it on Twitter. And again, we'll see you. And you can also tweet me anytime at Rayhan Bobby on Twitter, or you can always check out my website, www.rayallen.com. And you're awesome. Thanks. I appreciate it. You know what? Kudos go to the Seyopa team for actually having the conversation with me to say, hey, Bobby, we should do this. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? Great idea. So I'm totally on board. We'll do this every week. I think it's going to be a great time spent. And I'll try next time to not be in an outdoor location. In fact, I'm following one of my pursuits right now at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to meet a friend for lunch. Authentic connection is one of my passions. And so it's part of what I do. So appreciate that. And I look forward to seeing you guys later. All right? Have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for all the fantastic hearts and the love. I do appreciate it. And follow your passions, seize your passions. There's no better time than right now. If not now, then when? If not you, then who? All the best. Bye.